And we are live. Thank you for tuning in to the Mickey G channel.
All right. Hope you're having a great night, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining in to the Mickey G channel starring Mickey G.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you all for coming out.
And also JB the God Killer. We have a returning guest tonight, the one, the only, Dolcefino Consulting.
Thank you so much for joining us, Dolcefino Consulting. This is your second time on, and hey, we are honored.
No, I'm honored because I actually started watching you guys, which gives you some idea of what I have to do in my life. But I started watching you guys, and I think since I've been on, there was like some mud wrestling thing, and some jujitsu thing, and then like a pizza guy, right?
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
So
that pretty much sums us up.
So I fit right in, right? I mean, I feel like there's some serious news hour here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're glad you saw our Glizzy's Food Hut live stream and also the jiu-jitsu matches. Yeah, this past Saturday.
A 6-hour stream. That was a 6-hour stream.
Well,
it was a long stream.
I want to confess, I watched about 4 minutes, but I didn't watch it. That's all. I said I watched it. I didn't say how much I watched.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you're in good company because normally, that's about our that's about the watch time that we get. The average watch time.
Perfect. Fit right in.
Yeah.
You guys are great, and I'm as soon as you guys called me and said you wanted me to come back, I said for you guys anytime. I've been down there about 3 times, I think 4 times. It's been a few weeks since I've been assaulted by any of the mayor's relatives, but I've been down there. I come down there a lot. Actually, we were talking before we went on about some of the, taco places and the Tipsy Tavern where I had a couple of cocktails.
Shout out Tipsy Tavern.
Yeah. So it's like a paid sponsor now. We should get them to sponsor this.
Oh, hell yeah. We've been waiting for their sponsorship.
I've been there twice, and they're not aware of my importance, but I've been there.
We'll make them aware. Make them aware.
Yeah. Hey, you're becoming more and more familiar with the valley. Slowly by slowly, you're starting to become exposed to the, how wonderful and beautiful the valley is. Despite the governmental issues that we've been experiencing. Despite what he's
here for.
Yeah. Despite what he's here for right now in the live stream. Hey.
I've really I've actually seen a lot of the valley in recent weeks. I'm working an investigation in Mission, working one in Donna, talking about a case perhaps a little north of the valley. So there's, we're getting more calls all the day. In fact, I was thinking about opening an office, perhaps right across the street from San Benito City Hall, right? So I could hang out there a lot, right? I could go in there and use the bathroom. I could say hi to the city secretary who is afraid of me. The city manager, Fred Sandoval, who is just a jerk. I deal with public officials all the time, right? Mm-hmm. That guy plays the bully game, and I get the bully game, right? Because I get that game, right? But I just think he is so not serving the city of San Benito. The guy refuses to even move to the town. Look, whether it's a good rule or not, right? Whether they should have that rule or not. Right. They have this charter thing that says you got to live in the town, right? This is your main job is to promote the town, to manage the town. And you don't want to live there? What kind of message does that send to people? Hey, I'm the city manager of the town, but hey, don't ask me to go live there. I have no interest, right?
Yep.
And then, of course, I went to go talk to the mayor. I guess it's been about 3 or 4 weeks or so now. And while I'm interviewing him, this guy, I call him the fly, this guy behind me is screaming that I'm a liar and a spy, right? Like I've been called everything in almost 50 years of doing this, right? So like I could care less, right? But he was like right in my ear. And so I finally like went like, dude, like, back up a little bit. And then he assaulted me. And he's so bright that he assaulted me right in front of the police chief, right? So I think if you're going to commit a crime, you should always do it right in front of the police chief. So he got charged with assault. And I've been back since then to offer my media guidance to the folks who are trying to do the recall.
Yeah. Hey, well, rightfully so, and we will get to that recall because it's been so it's been so long, but it hasn't been that long to where so much has happened since the last time that you came on.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. It hasn't been that long, but so much has happened. So, let's start from the beginning. Just a really quick introduction to her. How did you become notified of the small city of San Benito, our hometown, right?
Yeah.
And then what kind of, what was the investigation and what's kind of transpired?
Sure. So, among other things, we've been asked to investigate a lot of economic development corporations around the state. And these are these appointed panels, appointed usually by the city council, and they're supposed to be in charge of economic development. And the allegation from more than one source was that the new administration in San Benito was essentially shaking down the only two developers that actually wanted to invest millions of dollars in San Benito, right? So, look, a little economics lesson 101, don't piss off the only two people that want to invest millions of dollars in your town, but that's exactly what San Benito was doing. They chased away one developer, and the Varco fight had already started when I showed up in town. And so we got immersed into that. And since then, I've been called a Varco spy. I left my Varco uniform. Oh, by the way, in the background, you might see I have a San Benito shirt on the couch back there.
Yeah,
it says San Benito. And the shirt, I really wish I should have had it out, but the shirt says, "My story began in San Benito." That's what it says. And it wasn't made for me. It's just a shirt they sell at Chewy's over on the t-shirt store on 77.
Shout out to Chewy's.
Yeah, a little shout out to Chewy's because I like those guys over there. But so we came to town, and we stumbled into one of the real interesting, and it's almost cultural now in the Valley, this weird nepotism thing. Like when people get elected for office, they apparently don't think that any taxpayer in their city is capable of being on one of these boards that help decide the future of their city, except for people they are related to, right? I don't know what that is, right? Here in Houston, if somebody did that, they would be like laughed off, okay? But in San Benito, there's a city commissioner, Miss Morales, who had appointed her husband, Jose, to some boards. And her husband, Jose, was being blamed by not one, but two developers for being the guy that was really sort of going to them and saying, look, if you don't pay us a bunch more money, you're not going to be able to finish your job, right?
Right.
The Varco people said that. So as it progressed, when I tried to talk to Miss Morales, she wanted the police chief to, I guess, do something to me. The first time we went to San Benito City Hall to look at campaign records after a month of asking and not getting them, the PR guy called the police, right? And look, you guys don't know me that well, but I love being arrested by local law enforcement, right? I think it's actually, especially if there's a camera around, it's good. It helps the story, makes it look better. But all kidding aside, they were going to arrest me because I wanted to see campaign finance records. Now, speaking of development since we last talked, that PR guy subsequently resigned from the city a few weeks later. I don't know whether it was because he got yelled at for calling the police on me, or because he's given them bad advice or whatever, or he wanted to get the hell out of Dodge, but he's gone. Jose Morales resigned from the EDC board, but his wife, again, not being able to apparently think of anyone in the city that could do the job, appointed herself to the EDC. Okay. These people are literally crazed. Then there was the mayor who went on, right when I was doing your show, the mayor had gone on this other show, this El Room.
Right.
Yeah, we went through a little bit live on the live stream.
So you remember
Transparency.
Exactly.
The transparency thing. Well, remember, she came forward. Well, a couple of weeks ago, I was in town and I went with her to the San Benito Police Department so she could file felony sexual assault allegations against one of the mayor's brothers, right? Who, while she was a manager of the San Benito Housing Authority, allegedly, molested her. Now, the statute of limitations is run on some of the misdemeanor potential charges, which might have been easier, but the San Benito Police Department is looking at, right? In the meantime, the San Benito Housing Authority continues to hide the investigation, not just from me, but from the public, right? People have a right to know this stuff. And again, while we were interviewing the mayor about that the last time, his other brother, Ramiro, who is also on the Housing Authority board, because again, if you ain't kinfolk, apparently you don't know how to do this stuff. He was the one who was in my ear and then assaulted me. And since then, citizens called me. They wanted to do a recall underway. But there's issues with the recall. And one of the issues is that people are deathly afraid of retaliation by the school district because they're like the biggest employer and everyone's got some relative, and people at the door, I'm told, are saying, will this list be made public because my cousin works there? Some people even claim they've had phone calls from some people I can't confirm yet. The San Benito School District is another one that's hiding records from me. I've been asking for their records because that place is another financial disaster.
Dolcefino, I don't know much about the San Benito government, but for some reason, I've always heard something about the San Benito School District.
Dude, I've had so many people come to me and say, will you please investigate the school district? And for a few weeks, I was so focused on what I was doing. I said, that's kind of not really what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. But now they've pissed me off too, because I asked for some records, not a good thing. I've asked for records. In fact, I had a phone conversation with them yesterday. They wouldn't return my phone call and my staff's call for weeks. We've been asking for records. So I did a Wayne Dolcefino call, guys. This is Wayne Dolcefino leaving a message. Hello, if you don't give me my records in the next 24 hours, I will personally call the district attorney and try to get you arrested. Okay? I did one of those messages. And lo and behold, they called us back. Right?
Oh, nice.
Because you have to be a jerk, because these people, unfortunately, do not understand transparency. The school district had a bond that was so abused, and the corruption is fairly evident there. And now that I've heard that the school district or someone associated with them may be calling people and attempting to intimidate them, I will be on them like white on rice.
Right.
If I can find out who those people are in my message to my friends in San Benito, and I've made many of them, none of them in government, but many of them outside, do not be afraid of these people. This is your opportunity. Look, I don't run the recall, right? Those are citizens. They're having their recall. I've helped them with their press conference. I support them because I think there should be a do-over. I think the government has proven so embarrassing in the last few months with their simple inability to discuss, to acknowledge ethics and transparency, right? And then lying about it while they claim it. That it's time for the public to get another chance. And if they want to elect some of those people back, then go for it. But I thought, I agree with the citizens down there. It's time for a clean slate. And I don't know the status of the recall. I know they've got, a couple of hundred signatures, but I know they're running into problems with people being scared because their cousin has a job at the school district, or their daughter, or their niece. And that is disgusting. The school superintendent should come out publicly. The school board president, who is a buddy of the mayor's, I hear, these people, if they want to keep their jobs, should come out publicly and say, no one will retaliate against anyone just because you vote your conscience on a recall petition. It's just insane. And so now I have chosen to spend more of my time the last few weeks on what is going to be perhaps an upcoming visit to the school board meeting, right? Because I think they want me to visit them, right?
It sounds like
I do.
Yeah, do you know what they from our experience, they're very inviting, right? They're great. They're great people, really great people. Hey, do you know? Speaking of you're mentioning that people are feeling like threatened or scared, that they're hesitant to actually sign this petition. There was a timeline that this petition. There needs to be what was it, 30 or 35% of San Benito citizens?
That's the other problem with petitions in towns like this, and I think it's intentionally written this way. So you have to get 35% of the people who voted in the last election, or in the election for which you're trying to recall the person. So in this recall, they're trying to recall everybody, right? So it's people who ran in the last 2 years. They're going to get 35% of those people. I know from talking to some of the recall organizers, and I'm looking at this too, there are some houses where 8 people voted in the last city election. 8 people. The house has about 1,200 square feet. Now, it's very possible that 8 people lived in that house, right?
Yeah, in the valley, it's very possible.
No, I'm totally not dismissing it as a total possible thing, right?
Yeah.
But the house is empty, right? Now, the election was just months ago, right?
Uh-oh.
So the house is empty. Now, was it empty during the election before? I don't know. We're trying to track down people. And, and it's, look, Hispanic surnames are often very difficult to research, even for a crack private investigator like me, right? They're very hard to find, especially if they were renting in a place, right? Because then you got to first find the landlord and say, hey, dude, when were you renting to these people? I mean, were all these people living there? Blah, blah, blah. But there are a number of those houses where 6 to 8 people voted, where they can't find anybody by that name, or the place is totally empty. Now, is that election fraud? I don't know, and I don't shout fire in a crowded theater, guys. I don't. But this is part of the process we are looking at right now to determine whether we can verify whether there was just a mass exodus out of the house, right, or whether there's something else afoot.
Wow, that's insane. That the idea of actually being able to uncover something as extremely unethical as that, or very illegal as well. So 35% of
35% of all the people who voted, right? So
Okay.
I think the number is about 600 or so. Okay, and you got to do it in 30 days. I know there are people that are knocking on doors, and I know people are reluctant to sign a petition by someone they don't know. And I know that Chewy's, the t-shirt shop, another shout out, over on 77, is like one of the headquarters for people who want to sign up, right? So you can go to Chewy's tomorrow, mention my name, you'll get no discount, but mention my name, and you can sign the petition. And look, I do this a lot, and I think the people that run the government. And look, and I'll give you a classic example. So this morning or yesterday, there was a story in the Valley Morning Star, right? My RGV, right? written by a reporter who should be paid by the city because every story he writes is through their eyes. Okay. And it was a story where the city manager was quoted, my buddy Fred, who doesn't want to live there. Fred Sandoval said, we are working on a negotiation and a mediation with the folks at Varco so they can open the place up, right? Finish the Resaca Village. Hey, Fred, breaking news. The only reason the place isn't finished is because you won't give them a permit to finish. There's nothing to really negotiate, right? These people are trying to finish their project so they can open up. Every day you delay, you are costing the city of San Benito money. Why do I say that? It's because if those other places were opened up and stuff was being sold, they would be generating more taxes, tax money that would go to the city of San Benito. So I don't know what kind of game this guy is playing when he gets some reporter buddy of theirs to say, hey, we're trying to solve this thing. Dude, it could be solved tomorrow morning at 8:05 if you stop jerking around these people and let them finish this project. What is there to negotiate? They have been able to work for 3 weeks on that site. While there are other places open, there are restaurants opening there, and there's a big half-built building next door. What are you doing? How has that helped San Benito? I got to tell you, I try to understand these people, and I'm also told that during these negotiations that they asked the Varco people, or there was some conversation about, can you get Wayne Dolcefino to leave? Like, the Varco people don't control me, right? I want to leave and let the citizens of San Benito take back their government. And as much as I love doing your show, guys, if you get some people in that government that, first of all, can survive without their kinfolk being in office, and two, who understand that what they have done, chasing away not one, but trying to chase away 2 developers, the only 2 developers that have come to town in years in this city, and get some people in there that are business savvy that say, we got rid of those knuckleheads. Now come to our town, open up restaurants in our town, open up shops in our town. We're not going to sue you and drag you through court fights and all the kind of stuff that is exactly the opposite of what a small, economically starved city should do.
Right.
Man, and to think that this whole thing started because of a lawsuit between this development company, Varco, and the EDC. Like I said, we had such high hopes for this project when it was originally announced. And I was even thinking myself, okay, who's this company Varco, to where like they're having these issues with the city. I'm driving home from Brownsville to Harlingen, and I see this huge building, and across the building is Varco.
I don't think I've been there.
And I realized, like, oh, these are the same guys. These are the same guys. They have buildings in Brownsville. They have buildings in Harlingen. They have buildings all over the place. And so, so I get it. They have these relationships to where they're able to bring businesses to their buildings. How the hell did San Benito get it so screwed up? Like, why are they able to do businesses with these other cities?
So I'll give you their version, okay? Their version appears to be that when Varco did this deal with the prior administration, that they got like a sweetheart deal, right? They got a special deal, right? Too good of a deal. Okay, fine. Then let them finish, and the next deal, right? You just do a better deal. If you guys are so business astute, find some other developer. If you think any developer in their right mind will come to San Benito to deal with this administration, who's been accused not by one, but by 2 developers of shaking them down for more money after they've invested millions of dollars. Who is going to come down and do a big project worried that the next time there's a new administration, right? That they're going to come in and say, Okay, forget what those other guys did. We got our own deal we want to do. It's just not the way development works.
Yeah.
And sure, the project's delayed for a long time. And but you don't think the people that invested in that project want to get it done too? I'm not defending them. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not an economics major, but give me a
Just
break,
logically.
guys.
Yeah.
It's just logic. And their inability to just put their bully pants away and just think logically for what's in the best interest of San Benito taxpayers today, and that's to let these people finish their damn project.
Yeah, amen. And that seems like, you know, the logical thing based off of, you know, the videos you're putting out, that they're so close to completing it. And we've seen it. They're very close to completing it, and yet it hasn't happened. So the EDC needs to figure this out some way, somehow. Originally, Jose Morales was the head of the EDC, correct?
He was the head, and then he wasn't the head, and it's kind of like musical chairs in the EDC. But he was clearly the guy that was asked by the EDC board to deal with Varco when the new administration came in. And I have said this to you guys before, but it's just illogical to me that somebody would be in the 11th hour of their deal and want to all of a sudden pay you $1 million or else, right? And then you try to evict them as if these knuckleheads in Crazy Town, I call it, we're going to take over this shopping center, right? These people aren't capable of doing that. And I think they should just get back to running the police department, right? And fixing the streets and let developers who know what the hell they're doing come in. Look, I've done plenty of investigations on developers. And these Varco people may be mean people, right? They may pray to voodoo dolls. I have no idea. I do know that the city government in San Benito, if people don't rise up now to change it, then they have no one but themselves to blame if they believe that what they have witnessed there over the last 3 or 4 months is just a government that's out of control. It's out of whack.
100%. So really quick, I was watching the videos. Did Jose Morales, I don't know, I'm getting the timelines mixed up. When you had requested text messages from him, right?
Phone records, never got them.
Phone records.
So they argued that Jose was not really a public official, but just a volunteer because he was on that board. And I tried to explain to them that according to state law, that a public official is anyone elected or appointed in a government. And so they went to the Attorney General. The Attorney General said, nice try, but he has to give up his phone records. He doesn't give us his phone records. And then I was just about ready to sue, and then he resigned. I would still like his phone records.
He resigned after the fact.
Yeah, he resigned.
Okay. And he was replaced by?
You know, I don't know who he was replaced. Oh, he was replaced by his wife. That's right. My God. Because apparently all the thousands of other people in San Benito whose name wasn't Morales, right? Could not do the job, right? All you folks out there listening in San Benito that don't want to sign the petition. So think about it. In fact, Eddie Loa, one of the guys doing the petition drive, don't be mad at me, Eddie. Eddie Loa, a guy who's really working the streets trying to get people to sign petitions, gave me an interview where he said, it's the same thing, right? He resigned, but when I go to visit the city commissioner, Jose is there. So he's still probably running the show, even though she's in the job. The people on the Economic Development Corporation should not be related. And then the mayor says, well, wait a second. It's not against the law. No, Mayor, it's not against the law because most public officials aren't stupid enough to think that it's okay. People think that it's okay just because it's not criminally illegal. It's not ethical. And the same thing in Donna. where the entire EDC is like related to everybody, right? It may be a valley thing. I may feel bad about picking on San Benito because I am seeing some evidence of the nepotism sickness in other towns.
Amen. Yeah.
We
yeah.
may have a disease and we don't know.
I think that's what it is. It's a disease. It's going all over the place.
Disease.
Everyone's getting caught. Yeah, and let me list off. We're talking about nepotism. Through your videos, just a few of the mayor's relatives. I'm not accusing anybody of nepotism or anything, but I'm just pointing this out. Some of the famous characters in your videos: Johnny Guerra from the Housing Authority, accused of sexual misconduct. John Flores, the cousin of
Primo.
Primo, of the.
Well, you know what's funny about that? So we get Flores, the sex offender, right? So we get his application because we were trying to figure out what this guy comes to town and right away he gets appointed, right, to the EDC board. Who is he? And we got his application and it said cousin, not primo, cousin, right? I know primo. I know what that word slang is, right? So when the mayor was interviewed by the paper, he said, I deny he is not my cousin. He's my primo, which is like sort of like a brother, like a cousin in friendship, right? But that's not what the application said. It didn't say primo. It said cousin. And you got to ask yourself, why would this guy who apparently just moved to town, right? The mayor appoints him. Why would he make something like that up? I don't know whether he's cousins or not. I don't really care. But he said it, not me. And the mayor attacked me like somehow I was just reading the document, the application that apparently the mayor didn't read before he appointed the guy to the EDC.
Yeah, and on it said cousin. Yeah, they couldn't
cousin. Didn't say primo.
By who? The mayor.
So one of the famous characters we have, Johnny Guerra, worked in the, I don't know if part of the Housing Authority, accused of sexual misconduct. John Flores, EDC board member, cousin of the mayor, convicted sex offender. And also probably our most famous at this point, Ramiro Guerra, vice chairman of the Housing Authority, which hasn't been convicted, but could be an assault charge on our very own Dolcefino.
He was charged with assault. And so look, I don't like to talk about being older, but for a moment, I almost wanted to play the elderly card, okay? Because I am 67. And so I said, you know what? If I tell the police chief, hey, look, I'm 67. I want a felony injury to the elderly, right? Because it's a felony if you assault an elderly person. Right? And I thought about falling over, right? But that wouldn't look good on camera, right? Yeah. But he pushed me. I mean, I gotta say, dude pushed me really hard. You could hear it. It was really hard.
It was almost an instinctual push.
He almost pushed you into his brother, almost like.
Yeah, he was. Before that, he was like using his phone to get in my photographer's face like this. I mean, it's just look. Obviously, another proud moment for San Benito, right? Somebody else who's a public official, right, on the Housing Authority board, should have resigned the next day, put down the cocktail. I don't know what his problem is. I really don't. Okay. And after he did it, apparently the city manager waited around for him, right, and gave him a ride home or something, right? So trust me, I can't explain these people, guys. I just know that I think the recall people have until the 18th. I don't know if they'll make it or not. I really don't. They won't make it if people don't sign. Right. If people keep acting like scared people, the Valley. I've had all kinds of tips about other relatives of these people. Okay. Sons, daughters, nieces, nephews. I have allegations of narcotics. I've got all kinds of stuff that are coming to me. I am not interested in crawling up the entire family tree of the officials of San Benito. What I am hoping happens is that the people of San Benito rise up and take control of their own town. If they are dissatisfied, look, if they hate me, then, fine, whatever. If they're dissatisfied with their government, what they've done, what they haven't done, then they have a chance, a unique chance that was created in part because of these videos, guys, right? Citizens saw these videos and said, we've had enough. And I flew down there and had a press conference to help them, because I like when citizens do this. In Dickinson, they voted to recall the mayor twice in Dickinson, based in part on stories we did. In Kemah, there have been petitions over the years. I mean, I've been in a number of towns. I'm in Crockett, Texas. Up in Northeast Texas, I've been, and there have been investigations of the EDC there. San Benito should not feel picked on, right? But I will say they are uniquely ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So I agree 100%. Okay, so like growing up, and this is something I told you last time too, where that was something we heard, that it was just understood that, there's all this corruption, there's all this nepotism in
just how it is.
in our own little city's government. And this is one of the few times to where we're able to actually, I say we, I don't even live in San Benito anymore. However, nonetheless, this is one of the few times where actually there's enough momentum to actually make a difference. Look, I don't know anything about the mayor, the city commissioner, the EDC, apart from what I see in these videos. However, this, regardless, even just a hint of nepotism, a hint of corruption, a hint of non-transparency, sure as hell that after this is all said and done, whoever's next in charge is going to think twice about doing these things, about acting the same way that these government officials have been acting.
I hope so, but the alternative is possibly true too. So let's say they can't get enough signatures because people are scared, right? Look, people in San Benito are working folk, right? They're not home during the day. It's hard to get them at home, right? They're working people. And a lot of them don't have any idea what's going on in the government, right? Some do, but some don't, right? But let's say they don't get the signatures. What I fear, it won't hurt my feelings, right? But I fear it emboldens the government that's there now to say, aha, you see, people love us, right? This Dolcefino guy, he's just, these people, they're all just a bunch of yahoos, right? He's just some carpetbagger from Houston who doesn't care about the valley. Look, I get attached to people in communities all over the country where I go do investigations. I've made friends down there. I believe there are people that have the best interests of San Benito at heart. There are people that want to run for office. Some even may work in the school district, right? Who are deathly afraid of coming out, right? It's like a gay kid being afraid to come out, right? In a small town, right? They're so afraid to come out because they're afraid it will ruin their career.
In San Benito.
that should not be the way it is in any town. And so I hope people stand up and over the next 2 weeks sign the petition so that they can get the commission to either resign or face an election. If there are people on that commission that you like, right, and you want to bring back, then let them run for re-election.
Yeah, vote them back.
But this is a clean slate. And if all the hundreds of people in San Benito that have written me who said, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. If all those people sign the petition, then I think October 18th is the deadline. They will walk into City Hall and there will be a fresh start.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Hey, you heard it. You heard it here. October 18th. Or we don't know that for exactly, but
pretty
generally. Okay. Okay. October 18th is the deadline. Go to Chewy's Custom Sports in San Benito. It's on 77 to sign the petition. And I've heard that quite a bit. Okay. And so here, we got a question that somebody had asked us, and you had already answered some of those questions. Okay, the status of the petition, it's currently going. Okay, how much time is that? Okay, what they're afraid of is that if they signed a petition, would that be considered public info to where afterwards they'd be able to?
it is public information, and it just is. And look, I want anyone, and I'm serious. And my email is very easy. It's wayne@dolcefino.com. You can go to my website, dolcefino.com. If anyone calls you, wherever they work at the school district or anywhere else, calls you and tells you not to sign that petition, or tries to scare you, or threaten your niece's job, I want you to call me, and I will personally come down there and I will chase them down the street. Okay. But it is public information, right? These are no different than a referendum election or a recall election. They're all the same. So they will know the name and the address. But think about it. Hundreds of people have probably already signed, right? So the idea that they're going to go down the list and say, aha, I'm going to get you, right? Look, your neighbors are signing. Don't be the one to say, I'm scared. What are you scared of? These people aren't going to hurt you. They're not going to do anything to you. They're not. They have used the fear. They have used this fear over people for too long in places like the Rio Grande Valley, right? Where everybody thinks that someone's either connected to the drugs or the cartel or to the government or to something else. And they've used that over people. And the mayor should come out in San Benito and say it would be outrageous for anyone to do that, right? All these leaders, Mr. Sandoval, the bully city manager, should come out and decry anybody who would ever threaten or try to intimidate a voter from exercising their right. And the fact that they haven't done that tells you everything you want to know about these people, man.
Right.
They're playing the game on you. Don't let them do it.
Yeah, that is something that even me myself, like I'm to be honest, like I'm kind of just
Are you scared?
I'm just scared to run into them like at the store.
I'm not.
I'm one man versus five.
Yeah, just that little bit of awkwardness, I like scares the hell out of me. Yeah, but okay. So October 18th. Look, anybody who feels strongly about this, or even feels like this is the right thing to do, do it regardless. Like, try to stand on your morals.
Be afraid.
Yeah, stand on your morals rather than trying to like
Do it for your kids. Do it for your kids, man. You know what? Do it for your kids so they can see mom and dad saying, you know what, this is America, by the way.
Right.
And in America, we get to petition our government. It's kind of like what the original dudes were all about. Okay, that's what we get to do. And I hope tomorrow Chewy's is going to be open. I hope tomorrow I'm going to call down there tomorrow afternoon, and I'd love for them to tell me that 10 or 15 people drive by during the day tomorrow and sign. If we got that every day, we would get this city council. They'd be forced to resign, including the mayor, and we could elect some people that put transparency and honesty and care about San Benito first.
Right.
Yeah, no, yeah. So, tomorrow, Chewy's Custom Sports will be open. So don't be afraid to sign the petition. I don't think we're eligible, right? We're not in San Benito. So.
I am, but I don't think I voted.
Oh, yeah, that's true. JB still lives in San Benito.
I do live there, but I don't think I think it's been years since I voted.
What a guy. What a guy. Would you please vote?
Yeah.
By the way, I want the officials in San Benito to look at who's on my wall in my office. For those of you who don't know who that is Don Corleone. And I'm not trying to, and that guy, the guy is the consigliere, right? So I'm not trying to scare them back because they've tried to scare me so much. But my father, Pasquale Giovanni Dolcefino, had a best friend in school. Okay, his name was Frank Gambino, and Frank's brother was Carlo Gambino. Okay, and so years ago, when my father was still alive, I was investigating something, and I was threatened. And my father called me. I told my father, and he said, "Would you like me to call the Gambinos?" Okay, so I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not threatening anybody. I know people too.
Yeah, that's why at the end of the day, right? What can these people really do? Like they're, like they're harmless. Okay. They're, that's why they're, and I know they're, very, very much troubled by what's going on right now. Apparently one of our friends told us that at the, some of my questions, why are you ignoring? Oh, calm down. I put all of them up. Or I'm sorry. B. Palomino's being very persistent on this question. Look,
we got a new fan.
I'll ask it. Don't worry. I'll ask it. Okay.
What's the question?
All right. Oh, wait, well, hold on. You wait your turn, B. Okay. But yeah, one of my friends said that there was a city meeting. Was it on Monday or yesterday?
I think it was either yesterday, day before yesterday.
Okay, whatever.
Yesterday.
There was a city meeting, and this poor old man showed up with these prints of our social media posts asking if Dolcefino and what was it?
El Señor de Facebook.
El Señor de Facebook were going to be there during the meeting. He thought that this live stream was at
the city hall meeting.
At the city hall meeting
with our fans, with your personal fans, your
We should have done that.
We should. That would have been a great opportunity.
Awesome.
That would have been a great opportunity for me to formally meet the leaders or the current leadership in San Benito. I'm like, hey, nice to meet you guys. I'm El Hombre de Facebook.
Hombre de Facebook. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that just told us that you are definitely reaching you're reaching people, especially that you would not expect on Facebook. Homos, because he was an older gentleman, but he literally had printed out posts of all.
This poor old man was printing out these Facebook posts.
But that just goes to show that there's, a lot of people that are upset about this.
Yeah, and I hope the younger folks, right, who have voted, unlike you, the younger folks, right, they ought to do it for their mom and dads, right? This isn't a unique chance in between a real election to be able to send a message of whether or not this is cool, right? Whether it's cool for the mayor's brother to literally assault me in front of the police chief and then nothing happened to him, right? Doesn't lose his gig, right? City manager drives him home, right? This is all cool for them. And then the city manager brags in the paper that we're trying to reach a deal with Varco. Look, tomorrow morning, Fred Sandoval, when he drives in from the city he lives in, since he won't live in San Benito, he can get to City Hall and say, release the permits to these people so they can finish their damn shopping center so we can make some money. Right. Fred, it'll take like 5 seconds, right? You're trying. I really have heard literally that they're worried about me, right? That he wants me to go away, right? I will haunt you at Christmas. I will. I'm like the ghost of Christmas present.
That's the happiest time of year.
Exactly. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, nothing worse than a haunted Christmas. All right, so you win, B. I'll ask the question. Okay, Dolcefino.
What?
This is a question from B. Why did you send an email on August 28th to the San Benito commissioner, along with city board members, Judge David Garza, with provoking words on how you haven't approached his mommy and daddy, who are elderly people. That's harassing elderly folks. Here we go.
August 28th, I sent an email to who?
To the San Benito commissioner, along with city board members, Judge David Garza.
Don't think so.
Well,
But what I said was, I have no interest in his mommy and daddy. And that's when the mayor said he was going to kick knock the crap out of me, or if I did something on his mommy and daddy, and I said I have no interest in your mommy or daddy. In my story, I said that as well. I have no interest in his mommy and daddy, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm a senior citizen. I love senior citizens. But his brother was another story.
Yeah.
If his mom and dad worked on the board, then they would be of interest.
But yeah, so pretty much what Dolcefino is saying is that he wasn't even the one who brought up families. What happened was the mayor just randomly said, if he harasses my family or whatever, so Dolcefino was saying, I'm not interested in your mommy or daddy. Sorry. Am I getting it correctly?
That's exactly right. Thank you for the translation. Thank you, B.
All right, so there you go, B. I hope you're happy. I'm not ignoring anything or all this stuff. We're all for transparency. We're just like the leadership of San Benito. We're all about transparency.
We're open book.
Exactly. All right. So hey, tell us about, or I don't know if you can, but tell us about some of your new different investigations that are going on in the Rio Grande Valley.
So we're doing a video coming out soon on the city of Donna, and their politics are a dumpster fire. They just fired the city attorney, who apparently was also the personal lawyer of the mayor when he got his drunk driving thing. And I got the body camera video of that. Should be entertaining. We're also following up the stories we did in Mission. But San Benito is my numero uno town that I care about.
Nice. That's beautiful to hear us.
And that's why my San Benito t-shirt is folded right on my couch, right below Don Corleone. My name is Dolcefino, so I just want to mention the Italian Cosa Nostra thing, because if people are getting scared by people, like some drug people or whoever,
yeah,
they're scaring the wrong guy.
got the Italians, man. Don't worry about it.
Do you know, that's why people don't realize that Hispanics and Italians have a lot in common.
We do.
Our food is primarily like carbohydrates and cheese, and then
Catholicism.
we're all Catholicism, and we're all very we all know
Family
somebody
oriented.
somewhere that's been involved in a
Doing time.
yeah somehow, some way, in some form.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love Italians.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, well, Dolcefino, we really appreciate you going through everything with us. We've already hit an hour. Who'd have thunk?
Man, we have a good time, guys. And look, all kidding aside, folks, please stand up, be counted. And again, if you need me, Dolcefino.com, Wade at Dolcefino.com. If anyone threatens you, you email me. I'll be back down probably next week. I don't want to scare the school board into, putting guards out front, but I'm really interested in the school district now. So if you have dirt on them, send it my way.
Perfect.
If you get threats or if you got dirt, just email Dolcefino.
Email
That's
Dolcefino,
right.
and don't
That's
be
right.
afraid. Don't be afraid. Remember, there's nothing they can do. It's there.
Think Dolcefino means sweet and fine in Italian, okay? Think the mob. Think Don Corleone, okay?
Perfect.
Those are people you should be scared of.
Perfect. Yeah. Be afraid of the right people, not the San Benito city commissioners, okay? Or
That's
mayor.
right.
Hey, and do you know what? When you come in town, please send us a message. Let's meet up. We'll have have a meal or something. We'll point out some good spots. Now that we've been doing this this podcast with local business owners, we've been in touch with some of the best. We're in touch with some of the best food down here.
You had a pizza guy at a jujitsu thing, right? I mean, come on, and me. That's like shows you that it must be desperate for booking. But no, serious. And look, you guys are really awesome. I hope that my appearance last time helped with the ratings. I know y'all,
100%.
Y'all are the biggest podcast now, right? In the Southern Hemisphere.
By far,
Probably.
yeah.
Yeah.
South of Austin, yeah, at least.
Yeah, we're reaching celebrity status. We can't even walk outside anymore.
Yeah, I understand. And look, go out with me, right? Let's all go to City Hall and ask to see the city secretary and watch your high and call the police.
Do you know?
Oh no.
That would be fun. If anything, invite us to that.
Done.
We'll do that.
Done. Let's go get arrested.
Perfect. I'm 100% down. Just let us know. We'll do it. All right, Dolcefino, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. And yeah, thank you for the shout out last time. Master of branding and marketing, the Wayne's World of the RGV, the Wayne's World of the I
loved it.
But you know what? It was so true. I thought about that when I did it, and I did it intentionally to make you guys so big that you'll need a bigger studio. I mean, so big.
We do.
Yeah, we're already making plans to move out into a 10,000 foot warehouse that we're gonna multi-purpose. Yeah,
Just got a new camera. We might get another light.
First, we're gonna start there.
You're like us. We get a light, it's like a big deal. It's really true. So I totally get it.
Yeah. Slowly but surely, we're working up. Yeah. Hey, man, it's been awesome. Yes, for sure. We will be at a City Hall, San Benito next week with Dolcefino. Thank you everybody for joining in. Thank you for sending in your questions, your concerns, and we'll see.
Fight, San Benito. Fight.
Hell yeah.
Fight the power.
Fight. That's what we are going to do. We're not afraid of anybody. We'll see you all later. Have a good night, everybody.